Fourth grade instant math lesson 16.2. Find multiples of fractions. I can represent the product of a whole number and a fraction as the product of a whole number and a unit fraction. Spark your learning. Carl participates on a youth wheelchair basketball team. The team practices 3 times a week after school for 3.5 hours. How can you use multiplication to find how long Carl's basketball team practices each week? Okay, so let's pull out what we're going to use. 3 times 3, 4, 7 hours. So they want to know how you can use multiplication to find out how long his basketball team practices each week. So first of all, let's start with what is going to be our multiplication equation. 3 times 1/4 or 3 times what? Not 1/4, 3 times 3/4. Okay, so how many circles do I need? 3, right? Okay, now how many pieces does each of those circles get broken into?
3 or
4, right? How much does each of those circles get colored in? 3 pieces. So how many total pieces do I have? 9. Okay, so if I wrote 3/1, what does that also equal? 3, right? 3 as a whole. So times 3/4. When I have this written like this, I just work straight across. So what is 3 times 3? 9. What is 1 times 4? 4. Is that simplified? No. Okay. So how many times does 4 go into 9? 2 times. 2 times 4 is what? 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. And I keep my same denominator. So 2 and 1/4 hours. Build understanding number 1. Jessie is part of the snowboarding team. It takes 3/10 of an hour to take the ski lift to the top of the mountain. While preparing for a competition, Jessie takes the lift to the top of the mountain 4 times. How much time does Jessie spend on the ski lift? Okay, so they want us to draw a picture and then also have an equation. So 4 times 3 and 1/10, and then how much time does it take him? So how many times does he go? 4 times. So that's how many boxes I'm going to draw. It's 4 boxes. How many pieces am I going to break each box into? 10, because that's my denominator. Okay, and then how many of each of those boxes am I coloring in, guys? 3. Okay, so letter A, they want to know how to create an equation using a unit fraction to show how much time it takes one ski lift ride. Okay, so how many do we have in each one of those? 3. So we could do 3 times, and what does each one of those fraction bars represent? 1/10, right? Which equals 3/10. So how can you use the equation for one ski lift ride to write another equation to model the time for 4 lift rides? So now we're going to take, how many times did he go? 4 times 3/10 equals, what did I say you're going to do with that whole number? Can you just leave it like that? No, we need to make it into an improper fraction. What can we make 4 into as an improper fraction? 4/1, right? So 4/1 times 3/10. Now can I just work that straight across? Yes. Okay, now remember, when we add or we subtract fractions, do we change the denominator? No. When we multiply, can you change the denominator? Yes. Okay, so I work straight across. So I'm going to go 4 times 3, which is what? 12. I'm going to take 1 times 10, which is what? 10. Simplified into mixed number. So how many times does 10 go into 12? 1 time. 10 times 1 is 10. So 12 minus 10 is what? 2. And then I keep my same denominator. So 1 and 2 tenths. Do I need to simplify that? Yep. What goes both into 2 and 10? 2. So that would be what? 2 goes into 2 how many times? How many times? 1 time. 2 goes into 10 how many times? 5 times. So Jesse is on the ski lift for 1 1/5 hours. Now going back up here real quick, guys. How many did I color in? How many 1/4 in my boxes? 12. And then 12 tenths. Sorry, not 1/4. 12 1/10. Okay, and then does that match up down here? Yes. Number 2, overage is training for a rate even without stopping for 2/3 hour each day for 4 days. How many hours does overage train altogether? So we have what? 2/3 of an hour, 4 days. How many hours does overage train altogether? Okay, so we want to use the number line to show how many hours overage trains by finding multiples of 2/3. So each one of those little check marks is what? 1/3, right? Okay, so we need to do groups of 2/3, right? Let's go and fill this out first. So 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3, 7/3, and 8/3, right? Okay, so my first loop is going to go to 2/3, right? What's 2/3 plus 2/3? 4/3. What's another 4/3 plus 2/3? 6/3. And what's another 6/3 plus 8/3? Or sorry, 2/3. 8/3, right? Okay, did that give me 4 days? So 4 loops for 4 days, right? What multiplication equation can you write to model this problem? So how many days were there? 4 times, and how long did you do it each day? 2/3. Okay, so what do I need to do to that 4? I need to make it a what? An improper fraction, and I need to write 4/1. Because does 4 equal 4/1? Yes. Okay, 4 is just simplified. Times 2/3. Now can I just work straight across? Yes. So 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay. I don't want to leave that as an improper fraction, though. So how many times does 3 go into 8? 2 times. 2 times 3 is what? 6. What is 8 minus 6? 2. And then 3. Can I simplify that anymore? Nope. What goes in above 2 and 3? Nothing. So it's simplified. So 2 and 2/3. What's my label? Hours. Okay, they want to know how you could write the model or an equation to model this problem using a unit fraction. So going back upstairs, here we had 8/3, right, guys? Yeah. So what could 8/3 also be equal to? What's my numerator? What's 8, right? So 8 could be my whole number times what would be my unit fraction? 1/3. Check understanding number 1. Gracie is in charge of running the timing clock at a race. The clock uses batteries that weigh 3/4 pounds each. If a timing clock uses 4 batteries, what is the weight of all the batteries? So 3/4 of a pound, 4 batteries. What is the weight of all the batteries? What can I put in the box as a key term? All, right? So that tells me I'm either going to add or multiply, right? Up here, could we have done all together as a key term? Yes. Okay. So what am I going to do? So 4 times 3/4. What do I need to make that 4 into? 4/1. 4 and 4/1 are the exact same thing, right? 4 is just by itself, it's just simplified. So times 3/4. I just work my way across, right? So 4 times 3 is what? 12. 1 times 4 is 4. How can I simplify that? Yep, 4 goes into 12 exactly 3 times. So my answer is what? 3 pounds. Okay, number 2, find the product. So I'm not going to just take 5 in there. I need to make that as what? 5/1 times 3/4. So yes, I needed to make that 5 an improper fraction, right? Okay, so 5 times 3 is what? 15. 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, is that simplified? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 15, put it in my house, and take 15 divided by 4. How many times does 4 go into 15? 3 times. Minus what? 12. 3 left over, so 3 remainder 3. How do I write that as a mixed number? 3 and 3/4. My remainder goes on the top, and I keep my denominator the same. So 3 and 3/4 is mixed. Number 3, write the first 4 multiples of 3/8. So this is kind of like our letter A up on number 2 where we did the jumping. Okay, so we would start at 3/8. What is 3/8 plus 3/8? 6/8. 6/8. What's 6/8 plus 3/8? Oh, 9/8. And then what is 9/8 plus 3/8? 12/8. And those you're going to leave as improper fractions. On your own. So here in a little bit, I'm going to put you guys with partners, and you guys are going to work out these problems. I do want to go over 7 and 8 first. Okay, so we said that we're going to make this an improper fraction, right? What is 6 times 3? 18. So they want you to actually just put 18 here and then multiply that times your unit fraction. So what would that be? 18 tenths, right? Okay. So what is 3 times 7? 21. And then they want you to multiply that times the unit fraction, which would be what? 21/8. And then you just leave it as an improper fraction.